everybody. Louise Gittleman here, your First Lady of Nutrition, with all the travel advisories that you need to know to keep safe during this pandemic and any other. So before I begin, let me say welcome to all of you. Where are you from? Let me know where you are in this beautiful country of ours. If you're overseas, let me know that too. Show me an emoji, show us some love, show us some hearts, show us some flowers, show us some sunshine. Now I'm on my way next week to Texas. I'm going there because I need to have some oral surgery, which is a whole long story, but it means I have to keep my immune system really very strong. So what do I know to do differently now that we're in the midst of a pandemic than I wouldn't have done differently if this was about 8 months ago? Well, number one, what I learned is that there's one natural plant extract which actually kills this particular virus. It's a plant extract that you may have heard of because it's in many different products, but the name of that plant extract is none other than thymol, which is part of thyme. And so what I'm going to do then is to load up on everything I can that has natural thymol extract. And the most important element that I'm bringing with me is none other than my Essential Cleanse waterless soap, which is called Essential Oil Waterless Soap Essential Cleanse. Cleans hands, wet or dry, and it's made with natural plant oils, including thyme. The reason I like this particularly is because this particular virus has a lipid layer, and the plant oils that are in here, including coconut oil, is able to glom onto the oil, it bonds to the oil, and then it removes any kind of virus extract or virus particles from your hands. Soap can do that as well, much better than sanitizer. So number one, look for something with thymol extract like my waterless, what's it called again, Essential Cleanse. I just found this on the market yesterday. And soap is much better than regular sanitizer because it removes both the virus and it removes water from your system, which means that it washes away the virus and it washes away the remnants because they can be sticking to your hands because it has a lipid layer. So that's number one. Number two, I also like to use something that contains thymus in the oral cavity, and this is my favorite product. It's called Dental Herb Company Tooth and Gums Tonic. And I use this in my water pick, just a little bit of it. I gargle with it every day, and some of my clients even use a teeny bit of it as a douche. So it gets the thymus, the thymol, way into your system and all the different orifices. So I like both of these products very much. This is the waterless soap, which is the Essential Cleanse with coconut oil and a number of essential oils, including the thyme essential oil. And this is the Tooth and Gums Tonic. So that's what I'm doing differently. In addition to which, every morning I take a little bit of an essential product called Silver Excelsior. I take 10 drops of Silver Excelsior in about 8 ounces of water, and I drink that in conjunction with another product, which is called, you can get this at a health food store, it's called grapefruit seed extract. I take 2 of these and 8 drops of this, 8 to 10 drops in about 8 ounces of water. And I do this because this particular product, the Silver Excelsior, is a silver oxide, so it's a chelated silver and gets into the cells much more effectively than any other kind of silver product. I then take a little bit of grapefruit seed extract to chase this down because the research I just concluded suggests that grapefruit seed extract, unlike any other plant extract on the planet, can kill 800 different viruses, bacteria, as well as fungus. So this is going to go into my travel bag. 1, 2, tooth and gum I'm going to take with me. I'm going to take it on the plane, probably send it through baggage claim. And then I'm going to take this with me in a 4-ounce bottle so that I can clean surfaces with this because it has the thymol extract, which kills virus, including COVID-19, according to the EPA. And I'm going to use this on surfaces with a little bit of water. In addition to which, I'm also going to use something before I leave again, and that is in addition to my little tonic where I'm using my silver as well as my grapefruit seed extract, I'm upping my iodine. I love this Lugol's 2% Lugol solution, which you can get online at any, I think you can get it pretty easily online at Amazon, for example. And I'm taking 10 drops of this every morning. The reason I'm doing this is to up my thyroid gland activity, because we're finding that a lot of people, when they're under stress, they're tired, or under the influence of EMFs, lower their thyroid gland, the way the thyroid gland operates. So I'm taking this as well. Next on the list, I'm using a air purifier. This is called a Mini-Mate air purifier, an ionic purifier. You put this around your neck like such, and I do this right before I leave home, and you just put this little unit on the side on, and you see that there's a little, it starts spewing a little bit. There we go. It's a little difficult to handle here. Oh, there we go. It's still working. Then there's a little bit of ionizing ozone that's coming out, and it's very purifying because ozone kills bacteria, it kills virus, it kills fungus, it kills parasites. So this is the thing that I use when I go through security. Now then, many of you are going to ask about masks. I personally wear masks when I'm on the plane because that's it's a must these days. I'm taking about 30 of these surgical masks. I change them every hour, and I think it's important if you're wearing a mask, a cloth mask or a surgical mask, that you actually replace the surgical mask or you wash the mask that you have. You can also spray that with a little bit of silver water. Now, when I get to my destination, I open up my bag, my trusty Louis Vuitton that's been with me for about 50 years or so, and I take a salt and soda bath. I do that because when you're on a plane, you're exposed to a lot of radiation. You're 30,000 feet up, there's a lot of gamma radiation. I do 2 cups of salt, 2 cups of baking soda upon my arrival, and when I come back from Texas to Idaho again, I will do the same. But I do this right when I get there right away, so I don't forget to have my salt and soda with me. Now, more importantly than everything is really what you do internally. You know, people are talking about public health measures to protect yourself, and I truly honor those, I respect those. But most importantly, you have to be afraid of a weakened immune system. So anything you do to enhance your immunity is what should be done now and moving forward into the fall and into the winter. So what we know from all my work, and those of you that have followed me for years know that Guess What Came to Dinner is about the concept of parasites. Parasites are the most immunosuppressive agent known to man. So to reduce your toxic load, let's make sure that you're reducing your parasitic infestation. So 5 days of the month, during the 5-day full moon period, I take a course of Verma Plus, Para-Key, and a little bit of Flora-Key, just to make sure that my system is cleared of any of these critters that are absorbing important minerals and important elements such as zinc, as well as vitamin A. So this is my claim to fame when it comes to really shoring up the immune system. What I would love to be able to do now is to open up the floor to questions. Matt, questions, please?
What kind of salt do you use for the soda and salt bath?
All right, the question is, what kind of salt do you use for the salt and soda bath? If I was taking it internally because I had an x-ray, I'd be using 32 ounces of water, and I would be using about a tablespoon of regular sea salt or a high-grade Himalaya salt. To take a bath, I'd just be using a Hanes sea salt that I get at the grocery store. So either a Hanes sea salt, which is relatively inexpensive because it basically goes down the drain, or you can use kosher salt. Kosher salt is less expensive. You use the Armour's baking soda, the kosher salt in the bath water, or you can use some Hanes sea salt. So that's what I do, unless I'm taking it internally, in which case I'll use a little bit of the Himalaya pink salt or even the Celtic sea salt. This is very important if you're feeling that you're coming down with any kind of flu or environmental situation, because it will alkalinize your system very, very quickly. Next question, please.
So talk a little bit more about the air purifier. We want to know a little bit more about what brand it is, where you get it.
All right, so the air purifier, and somebody on my team should be making a link to the air purifier. You can get from cwenviro.com. cwenviro.com. I've been using this, Matt, since I've been traveling for the past 45 years. And this is a little air purifier that purifies the air with a little bit of ozone, which is very detoxifying. We know that ozonated elements can get into your system and actually clean your blood. Well, it's very important to purify the area around you. So I'm really concerned that I'm doing everything I can to shore up my system, because there are all kinds of air pollutant elements that are on a plane trip, regardless of what's going on now with this virus. So I've used this time and time again. It's allowed me to get to my destination healthfully and safely. I think it's relatively inexpensive. Just check CWRenviro.com. Next question, please.
And the parasite cleansing kit, you get that from unikeyhealth.com, correct?
The parasite cleansing kit, which I developed, Matt, I developed this about 25, 30 years ago with the Unikey co-formulator. You can get from unikeyhealth.com. And the reason I like this is that it kills the big worms, of which we have the roundworm, the tapeworm, we've got ropeworm, we've got issues like flukes, and it will also get rid of the small parasites like Blastocystis hominis, which we now know is intimately connected with Hashimoto. So it will get rid of the parasitic little one-cell organisms that a lot of these other programs that are online now can't even touch. It's also very helpful against toxoplasmosis, amoeba, and giardia. So for those of you that know that you've got a situation which is an autoimmune condition, it's so very important to get rid of your parasites first and foremost. You can do this with an initial cleanse, 2 weeks on, 5 days off, 2 weeks on, 5 days off, with a special diet including high vitamin C, vitamin A, and vitamin zinc foods. Or you can just do the 5-day, it's called the full moon window, every single month. Next question. Okay, so having said that, I just want to tell you the rest of the supplements that I'm going to be taking. As many of you know, because of short immune concerns at this point in time, zinc is probably the most important antiviral mineral. I suggest you take at least up to 50 milligrams of zinc a day, not more than that, or you'll affect your copper balance. Zinc is important because it acts as a precursor to many different enzymes in the system. If you want to take a zinc test, the best zinc test is a red blood cell zinc, not a serum zinc. So that's number one. Zinc is the number one antiviral mineral. The number one antiviral vitamin is none other than vitamin D, followed closely by vitamin C. So take a vitamin D test, figure out what your levels are. They should be anywhere, I'm thinking between 50 and 80 ng/dl. And if they're a little lower than that, you want to take at least 2,000 to 5,000 IUs a day to get your numbers up. Vitamin C, I like 5 to 10 grams a day. That's how much you need to get rid of your heavy metals and protect your system. Now, the most important antiviral hormone is melatonin. So for many of you that are not sleeping, this is a biggie. You need up to 3, sometimes 10 milligrams a day, depending upon your ability to tolerate the melatonin, so that you've got this important antioxidant hormone that can negate all the EMFs that are in the environment. So those are the most important things you can do, as well as 3 different types of teas. The first is a thyme tea. Well, perhaps we'll put a recipe up for thyme tea. So as well as the essential oil that includes the thymol ingredient, as well as some of the other thymol ingredients that are on the market from your mouthwash, etc., you can make thyme tea every day to clean and fortify your lungs. Or you can take a tea that is made with fenugreek seeds, which reduces mucosal output and mucilaginous discharges from the system. So you got your fenugreek, you got your thyme tea, and if you can find pleurisy root for your lungs, it's the very best lung supportive herb known to man. So on that note, I'm going to wish you a wonderful rest of your week. If there are any other questions, we're here to assist you. Lots of love as always.